everybody? Richard Neese here with Weichert Realtors, a Space Place, and you're watching the Real Estate Rundown. I'm Richard Neese. We've got Dominic Gill. He's handling all the transitions. He's the man, the myth, the legend. That's right. We do have sound.
We do have sound.
We got Chris Cotton, Nick Lee, my wife, Catherine Neese, Cheryl Ragland. Thank you guys for getting on here. Please share, please comment, please like. If you have a question about real estate, we want to answer it. You know, we started the Real Estate Rundown about 15 months ago, and really I started it as a way to do a first-time home buyer seminar every week. I wanted to give out information for free without the high-pressure sales tactics of those first-time home buyer seminars where you get swamped by...
Or was it?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You get swamped by a bunch of agents asking you if you want to go look at houses, stuff like that. The goal is to have no pressure. We want to give you the information so that you can become a better buyer, a better seller. Oh, the girls are up watching. Well, that's good. Shouldn't they be in bed right now? We got Bethany Aldridge, Becky Gray, Brian Grimmett. Thank you guys for getting on here. We want to give you information about the real estate process. We believe in helping good people get to a better place, and the best way we can do that is by making you a better home buyer, a better home seller.
Absolutely. The best position you can be in going into the market is having knowledge, understanding the process, because now as things come on, you don't have to spend as much time having an explanation. You can kind of figure out what you want to do, and really just being knowledgeable about things in general and basic life necessities is always going to benefit you. You know, some things like calculus may not benefit everybody, but understanding the process.
Why are we talking about calculus?
Because I'm drawing a comparison here. Okay. All right, but the basic knowledge of understanding how to buy and sell a home to kind
it's important.
It's something that is some knowledge that you will use in your life, or most people will use.
That's right. And the first step is call a realtor, call a professional. You need to start with that so they can explain this to you. But it's always good to have a kind of a baseline so you do know what you're talking about. You can have intelligent questions that you can ask them so you can get to that end goal, which is getting you into a new home or selling your house faster. And that's important. Cody Hipp, we appreciate you jumping on here, brother. Raven Abbey, thank you so much. Please share, please share, please share. We also have a radio show on WKUL, 92.1.
92.1.
Yeah, 92.1.
Got to remember our call-outs now. You know, it's one of the things that they're supposed to teach you in radio school, which we did not go to.
That's right. That's right. We took a CLEP course on that one,
That's right. Ron just turned it on and said, "Y'all go."
Yeah, Ron Jr., Ron Mosley Jr. and Senior, they allow us to get on there and to give out, spread our message to a different audience that isn't necessarily just on Facebook. We run it live on Facebook as well. Sometimes we'll pre-record, but it's the same message. We want to make sure that we give you guys the information necessary. We got Jesse Calvert, Irene Jennings, Maxwell Powell, Power, Teresa Gill, Aaron Ayers. Thank you guys for getting on here. We just got in off the water. Well, you lucky dog, Chris. We were just talking about that. We need to definitely get out there and do some stuff on the lake soon.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So today during the radio show, we started out talking a little bit about one of the cool events that I got to go to with my wife on Friday. I invited the Cottons, and then Dominic, I guess you guys didn't get the memo. I thought that you knew about it. Or
I did not know about it. Well. I don't get the commission emails anymore.
Well, you should be glad.
I'm probably so, but it is one of the highlights. So as a real estate agent, it was one of my highlights.
That's
every
right.
year.
So tell them about the annual charity event and what that is.
Basically, it's a place where all the realtors get together and they pretend they don't hate each other. And in an effort to support a good cause, the best place in the world to pretend you don't hate each other. Now, I'm just joking. Right. There's plenty of great realtors out there. Not everybody is that way. But no, it's a fun environment to go in there. The local commission, the Coleman Association, they do a great job in organizing it. Beverly and all those people out there, they
and I'll tell
do
you,
a lot of work.
Rita Fromhold did a great job. There was a bunch of other folks that helped her, but I think she was the head of the committee or whatever it was for that auction. They put a lot of work into it, and they raised a lot of money too. We'd have local affiliates, local realtors, lenders. They donated gifts, items, and then those were bid on auction style. And it was a good time. They had I think is it Joe Hagan? Mr. Hagan's all known by. He was up there.
Wait, no, Thomas. Tom Hagan.
I don't know.
Golly, that's terrible.
Is Tom Hagan? I thought Tom Hagan was the guy from.
You're probably right. We're not going to talk anymore. We're not going to talk anymore about somebody's name we don't know of.
Kim Smith, Buddy Beaver, Rebecca McGriff, Wade Harpson. Thank you guys for getting on here. Please like, please share, please comment. But that was a great event. You had all of these realtors that are really on the battlefield trying to negotiate for their clients, do all that stuff on a daily basis. They were able to take those hats off, go and enjoy see each other in a different light, and that was a good feeling. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
I also got to see some of my favorite realtors up there. A couple of my past brokers. We had Wendy Childers and Wes Warren up there. We're kind of shooting the bull. But one thing that was pretty serious was I actually saw Wendy Childers, and she was actually over at the event down, I think it was in Hayden, where that huge tent fell down on folks.
Yeah, I'm going to act like I'm an expert on this. I just found out about it this morning, about this one. So go ahead, since you know a lot more about it. In all seriousness.
But, I mean, there was a large tent down there. I think they were having a fundraiser for a local bank. The tent ended up falling and hurting like 70-something people or something like that. One of my friends, Edgar Weigel, was there, and I know he got hurt. Randy Childers, Wendy's husband, was telling us the story about him literally carrying people to the ambulance. I mean, that's pretty insane. You never know when it's going to be your time. Thank goodness nobody died, but man, you never know when something like that's going to happen. So just like I was telling you on the radio show, make sure you tell your kids you love them and kiss them and hug them and your wife or husband or whatever the case might be before you leave, because you just don't know.
Absolutely.
And that was even more true. I mean, today it wasn't a bad incident, but I ended up I got into an accident today on 278. So you just don't know what could happen. You're just driving, doing your thing, going about your day, and then boom, you can have a wreck. Something might happen. We had one up in Good Hope too.
Oh yeah, and just a few minutes ago, whenever before the show, we just saw that. So something else, it's an exciting time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year for a lot of us,
That's right.
including
It's not
myself.
Christmas.
That's better than Christmas. No,
right.
It's not. It's not. I didn't say that.
Well, you have both of them at Christmas, so it's actually pretty good. That's
Absolutely. So it's almost time for college football. Next weekend is Labor Day weekend, and everyone else is going to be enjoying their Saturday, watching lots of football, and I'll be sitting back just waiting because my game's not till Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
LSU's playing on Sunday?
On a Sunday with Miami. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Is that going to be a game?
No. I hope.
Okay. I know we get a lot of college football fans. We were talking about it on the radio show today. We're actually, Dominic and I are going to do pick-ems. We're going to pick 3 to 5 games. We haven't decided yet. And then we're going to make a gentleman's wager. And we had talked about doing a donation to a charity, but we hadn't settled on that. We talked on the radio about it. And we didn't have any comments on Facebook during that show of what they thought the wager should be.
Right, absolutely.
So maybe we should put that out there.
Absolutely. I mean, if you got anyone who's out there watching the show right now who wants to tell us what kind of wager would be good, if you think we just do a charity kind of wager where that person, so basically we haven't laid out the rules, but basically it's going to be either 3 or 5 picks a week.
Right.
Something simple that we can keep up with, and we can keep a little tally board up here for the wins and the losses to kind of go with it all.
I'm thinking the ice cream.
The ice cream?
Yeah.
I
think I'll be eating some ice cream at the end of this.
We'll put another carton up here, but it's going to be mine. I'll get a chocolate one, chocolate sundae, and I'm going to keep it on that side.
So transitioning from that, we're going to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Football season's upon us. I know a lot of people like to spend their weekends watching football. But that brings up a point that I always kind of question. I hear a lot of agents already starting to talk, and customers as well, saying, "Well, we
how many
missed,
are on here?
We missed the peak season. It's about to be the down season for real
Pull your
estate
house out the
sales.
market. It's done. You're not selling this year. Good luck. March of 2019. We're going to try again.
That's right. I've heard it before, and it's actually been that brash before.
Yeah.
You hear agents say that.
Yep.
My question is to Dominic, and he knows my answer, but my question is, what do you think people mean, or is there a reason for a down season or a downturn?
I think there's multiple things. I think there's a partial truth to it, that the fact that sometimes buyers and sellers are just plain wore out and they want to take a break.
Yeah, that's fair.
That I think that is a part of it, but I think it's over-exaggerated. I think that there's still a demand for housing. I think it's just kind of, I personally feel it's a push from the real estate industry so that they can take a break, because after the summer, they are exhausted. I mean, someone once told me it's the hardest easy job you'll ever have, and they could not be farther from the truth. And it's not no part of it's easy. It really is.
That's exactly right. You know, I agree 100% on
from
that.
the outside, it looks like, oh gosh, all you gotta do is sit down, write some paperwork, sign a few things. Oh my gosh, it's so much more than that. I was in that camp, but getting back to where we're going, football plays a part because if you're a real estate agent and you are a busy and successful one, you're going to be working on Saturdays.
That's right.
And Sundays.
And so what I say to folks is that I believe, just like Dominic believes, that part of the downturn in the market after August, stepping into September, is agent related.
Yeah.
I think agents back off because they want that rest. I think agents back off because they've been told this is an old wives' tale, and that's just how it's going to be. The market's going to drop. I'll tell you this: my third and fourth quarter are usually stronger than my first and second quarter, and I see that consistently over the 3 years I've been in real estate, and I'm sure you could take some bigger numbers too for people that are proactive.
And I've noticed that same trend among the higher producing agents because part of the MLS. For those of you who don't know, layman, is that we get to actually see what everyone's been doing.
Absolutely.
So if
we
want to
track that over quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've always tracked to see. Unfortunately, sometimes you start looking at other people's pockets.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of that a time or 20, and I've always kind of see where the agents, how the high producers. Where's it all coming from? And it's always been the November, December
That's right.
Sales. It's always blew me away. I was like, wow, how are they pulling this off?
It's just continually working. And what I'll tell folks is, yes, there are less buyers in the market during that late third and fourth quarter. 100% agree. You have people that aren't as motivated because they don't have to get into the school districts. You have less buyers that are coming over the summertime, but you also have less inventory.
Yeah.
So I really do believe that equals out, and sometimes it's actually a better time to sell later in the year or buy later in the year because you don't have all that competition out there.
100%.
So you can actually, the people that are looking, they pretty much have to buy.
It's kind of like us homeschoolers, okay? Homeschoolers being me growing up.
Breaks are for quitters. Chris, you're killing me.
We would take on different summer projects as far as school and stuff goes. And we would have, before they had fall breaks and all this stuff, we would have our own kind of fall break where we'd go vacation in school season as a family because it was so much cheaper. Yep. There was less people, it was less crowded. You can go to amusement parks because they were a lot slower. You talk about have the place yourself and have a good time. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
So even though there's less people in the market, you actually have more room to do more with it. Same way in the real estate market.
Yep.
You have less competition. You have more freedom to kind of be less competitive and not have to worry about fighting the crowds. Because whenever you're analyzing your house to be sold, you don't just look at what's sold in the past and speculate on what price it needs to be based on what's sold. You also got to look at the current market of your competition. You have to see what other houses that are competitive to your house that's going to take buyers away from your house. So you have to be competitive with those houses. With those houses off the market, or whether they sold or whatever, and then you have a pool of buyers who are still waiting for that house, it would be a great time for for that house to be, even if it's just listed, especially if it's just listed, for those new buyers or the old buyers coming to the market to see that house, and with the less competition to bring in a higher offer on it.
That's right, absolutely right. There are a lot of factors that go into that, but at the end of the day, this isn't a bad time to list your house.
No.
If you have an agent that's wanting to back off during that, and I see it happen pretty regular, it doesn't surprise me. Because most agents that are out there, first off, they don't have a team or they don't have the support system necessary to continue on because they've been busting their tail 14, 16, 18 hours a day for the past 3 or 4 months. Nobody can maintain that all the time without a support system.
Absolutely.
And when you're competing at that high level, you have to have the support system of an assistant, a buyer's agent. You got to have agents that you use as part of your team. Whatever the case might be, you've got to have that. And that's what most high producers see and realize that these are the most important things for me to be doing, and that I can have other people with different strengths doing that. And that's why real estate is really not a one-person job. You've got to have help. It should be a business. too many people treat it just as sales in real estate, and that's not how it should be treated because there's so many factors. Nobody is great at all of the things that a real estate agent must do. I like to think that I'm good at a lot of them, but you've really got to use a team to help you.
Anybody who's in it and understands real estate understands that the more you know, the less there is, the less you realize you do know. I butchered that completely.
Exactly.
I completely butchered. But the more you know about the industry, the more you realize you don't know.
That's right.
And so therefore, that's whenever you start looking around, you're like, okay, well, I see I'm inadequate. That the information I thought I had. In fact, a new agent's more knowledgeable than an experienced agent. Let me tell you, every single time. But they get into it, and then they realize, okay, I don't feel like going chasing down this path on understanding investment properties and understanding what makes a good investment properties because I'd rather do the marketing. I'd rather do those things. So why don't I just go and bring somebody in who can handle that, become the expert. I service that expert. I service you with that expert so that we can get more done. You can have the highest level of professionalism.
Absolutely.
Which is going to get you the best advantage in everything.
So the big thing is that the market's not slowing down. Whether you're in Coleman, Hartselle, Huntsville, Madison, Nashville, it's an extremely hot market anyways. And then for an agent to say, hey, this is a downturn, there's not as much going on during this season, it's a flat-out lie. So be careful who you listen to. Always use a professional. If you guys need any help from me, you can always give me a call, 256-708-1511, and I'll help you get to a better place. You got anything else, Dominic?
No, we're good.
You guys have a great night.
Do it! Just